Some very strange things are going on with Diddy's case. Let me explain to you why. Think about what happened with Ghislaine Maxwell. Who was the lead prosecutor? The same person that when Epstein was being held accountable was the same lead prosecutor that is now with Diddy.
Word on the street is Jeffrey Epstein didn't just mysteriously die in that jail cell. He was taken out. And get this, some folks are pointing fingers at none other than Diddy. Sounds insane, right? But when you start connecting the dots between the allegations, the powerful circles, the dirty secrets, suddenly it's not so far-fetched. Both these men were surrounded by whispers, lawsuits, private islands, high-profile guests, and some of the darkest accusations in the game. So now people are asking, did Epstein know something about Diddy that could have brought it all crashing down? And if so, would Diddy go that far to keep his name out the headlines? Let's get into the theory, the madness, and what really might have gone down behind closed doors. Because once you hear all this, you might not look at either of them the same again. Did Diddy really have Epstein handled? Okay, so here's the tea. There ain't any real receipts out there saying Diddy had anything to do with what went down in Jeffrey Epstein's jail cell. The official word is suicide, but you know how the internet moves. If the math ain't mathin', people start connecting dots that might not even be from the same book. For starters, both Diddy and Epstein got slapped with some serious allegations, trafficking, abuse, the whole nine. So the public's like, pattern? Then you throw in Epstein's sketchy death, the elite circles he ran in, and the fact that he might have been sitting on a whole lot of secrets. Now it's given murder mystery. The streets and the X have been whispering that Epstein might have known way too much, and somebody decided he had to go. And now with Diddy facing his own mountain of lawsuits, people can't help but draw some messy parallels, even if there's zero solid proof linking the two cases. So what did Epstein know? Let's not act brand new. Epstein was deep in those billionaire backrooms. Politicians, celebs, Wall Street money, royalty, everybody pulled up to his island or got caught in his phone book. Folks been begging for a client list to drop like it's a mixtape, but the feds are basically like, ain't no list coming. One attorney close to the victims even said most of Epstein's mess was for his own pleasure, not for blackmail. So if he had dirt, he wasn't necessarily trying to play puppet master with it. Still, the mystery got folks spiraling. If Epstein was off to keep things quiet, then who's worried about Diddy maybe doing the same to cover his tracks? All right, now let's talk why this theory even exists in the first place. Because on the surface, it sounds random, right? But when you line it all up, Diddy and Epstein situations are giving copy-paste vibes, different faces, same messed up playbook. Both of these dudes were swimming in money, fame, and mad powerful connections. And both are being accused of running straight up sex trafficking rings. Not just being creeps, we're talking full-blown organized operations with assistants, staff, and security allegedly helping cover it all up. Like they weren't doing this solo. And here's where it gets real dark. They use fear, manipulation, even violence to keep victims in check. Epstein had his whole massage front going on with underage girls, while Diddy's accused of throwing these wild, up freak-offs where people were forced to perform or else. And yes, both recorded stuff to hold over people's heads later. Blackmail energy. Then there's the guest list. Both ran with the who's who of elites. Diddy had celebs, musicians, fashion moguls around him. Epstein, politicians, royalty, billionaires. We're talking high places, baby. That's why the public started asking, were these two just part of a bigger network? Or was Epstein about to expose names and Diddy didn't want to be on that list? Now let's be clear, there's no proof they ever worked together or even personally knew each other. But the internet been calling Diddy Epstein 2.0 for a reason.
That's right. Diddy is now known as prisoner number 37452-054. Or, a shorter way to say it is Epstein 2.0. No wonder he's on suicide watch.
The legal cases, the victim stories, the way everything's coming to light years later, it's all too similar. And what's wild is how they both operated for decades while the world either looked the other way or stayed silent. It's like, how do powerful men keep pulling off the same dirty tricks without getting caught? Oh right, money, fame, and silence. And now, Epstein's gone under mysterious circumstances. Diddy's lawyers are scrambling, victims are speaking up, and folks are connecting dots that ain't even on the same page yet. But unlike Jeffrey, who met his demise, Diddy seems to be getting away with this stuff. How is it possible? Diddy's different. All right, so while Epstein never even made it to trial, found dead in his cell before he could spill a single name, Diddy actually got his day in court. And let me tell you, it did not go how prosecutors hoped. Just take a look at how Diddy's defense team reacted.
Today's a great victory. It's a great victory for Sean Combs. It's a great victory for the jury system.
They came in hot, throwing every major charge they could. Sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, all the heavy stuff. But when it was all said and done, Diddy only got convicted on 2 lesser counts, transporting someone across state lines for prostitution. Now don't get it twisted. Those are still federal felonies. But compared to what he could have been hit with, that's light work. He dodged the life sentence, the trafficking label, the full Epstein 2.0 outcome. The courtroom energy flipped fast. It started off like a takedown, but ended up looking like a partial win for the defense. Real talk, it felt like the prosecutors fumbled the bag. Right now, Diddy's still locked up at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. No bail. The judge wasn't playing, said he's a flight risk, and too many folks were worried he might try to pressure witnesses if he got back out. So here's where it gets interesting. Sentencing's coming up on October 3rd, and folks are saying he could walk out way sooner than anybody thought. Based on what the feds are pushing for, Diddy could serve about 4 to 5 years total, but his lawyers are begging for less, something closer to 2 years. And here's the kicker. He's already been inside for almost a year, and that counts. So if the judge shows any leniency at all, Diddy could be back home within a year. Now, of course, that's got people talking. How did a case that started with bombshell accusations, victim testimonies, and RICO vibes end with just 2 prostitution-related charges? Some say Diddy's lawyers worked overtime. Others think there's more going on behind the scenes, stuff the public never got to see. Either way, he didn't walk out innocent, but he also didn't go down like Epstein. And depending on how the sentencing goes, he might just beat the system in a way Epstein never could. So, now that we've laid it all out, the charges, the freak-offs, the high-powered circles, the split verdict, you gotta ask yourself, is Diddy really just another celeb who went too far? Or is he part of something way bigger, something darker? Because here's the thing, Epstein didn't just die. He vanished in the most suspicious way possible. Cameras were off, guards were sleeping, and boom, he's gone before the trial even started. And who benefits most from that silence? People with secrets to protect, people with something to lose, if that man ever spoke. Now, nobody's saying Diddy was in the room that night, but when you look at how similar their stories are, how they both move through elite spaces like untouchable ghosts, and how both had entire systems helping them stay hidden, it really makes you wonder, what if Epstein did know something about Diddy? What if Diddy made sure he'd never get the chance to say it out loud? We might never get the full truth, but one thing's for sure, these men didn't operate alone. And as more victims speak out, more lawsuits pile up, and more secrets come to light, it's only a matter of time before the rest of this dark puzzle starts falling into place. Stay locked in. This story's far from over.